And so I think we will see an accelerated acceptance of the fact that things need to be done properly. People need to get their ducks in a row. They need to look at other models, but also where the changes and where organizations have made changes to cope with that have shut out some talent or have dropped off some of their resources. They've gone safety first, no PSCs, and that meant they're not going to have noticed the drop in productivity until now or the next 6 months. And that is going to be something that's really going to affect organizations that have taken a very risk-averse approach, which is fair enough, but who haven't provisioned for the fact they might have had a drop-off in productivity. So I think that's really interesting.
There's so much. I think you're exactly right. 7 months just isn't long enough because of the situation we're in, because of COVID and because of Brexit. They are just so unaware of how much IR35 impacted as well, because it's just so easy to go, oh, it's because of COVID. That's why we can't find talent at the moment. We gave a statistic around a survey that around the HGV drivers. I don't know if you saw it, but it was just around how IR35 was one of the key reasons that a lot of contractors moved out of that space. Now, I'm not trying to say that HGV drivers are all outside of IR35, and it's a shame that they've all left because of the changes. But I think there would be so many organisations that were not aware that IR35 was an impact there at all. They would have gone, oh no, it's because of COVID and it's because of Brexit. And I think it was over half of the contractors that responded to it said IR35 was their reasons for going. So although it wasn't the only reason, it's a key reason, and I think it's overlooked so massively. And maybe when we're a year on, I think when we get to April next year and everyone starts looking at this again, because it just happens every April, we're suddenly become really busy again. I think maybe they will say, okay, we have actually realized it, and we do a lot of research. I don't think we've issued our survey results yet, but we obviously have a huge database of contractors. So going out to them and saying, what, you shut down your limited company, or you change your insurance, or you close your insurance, what are the reasons? If you look at where IR35 comes, it's absolutely huge. But I think the HGV one is just good because it's a topical subject that people go, oh, okay, oh yeah, I know actually what happened there. Yeah. And they suddenly listen, and they just weren't aware. So when you've got kind of the papers actually talking about IR35, you still speak to so many people that go, what's that? And it's like, God, it is you. That's why we, like I said, we just have to continue educating, continue supporting recruiters in this space, and then just work out kind of how the market's going to play out in this regard. Because I think we touched on earlier, HMRC are going to be hot on any sort of model that's disguised. Whether they have the resource internally to manage it, people can dispute, but you don't really want to be, you don't want to have a red flag. You don't want HMRC to be investigating you. So they are aware of kind of disguised setups. So organizations do need to be really careful that they're not doing that, even if they didn't mean to. They just need to be really careful that they're not doing that. But we've said it many times during this chat. Recruiters will always diversify and adapt. We just need to get clients to follow with them and adapt in their own way so they can continue to access them.
Yeah, and that's why I love this sort of conversation, because I totally agree with you that it's all about a continued education process and communication and getting the message out there, and just kind of creating discussion about this stuff, because it's not like it's magic or witchcraft or something like that. There are the right ways to do things and the wrong ways to do things. There's effort involved in everything, in any new thing or adapting to something, but there are ways that organizations can really do this effectively, and there's ways that recruitment organizations can really support them effectively. So